I've been thinking about this, and I almost just dropped it in the intro, but I didn't know how you would feel about it. So you got Mercosaurus Rex, right? That's your thing.
Yeah.
Is it bad I really wanted to refer to you as Murkaroni and cheese?
Macaroni and cheese? No, no, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Macaroni and cheese. I like it. Does that make me the cheese?
Yes, that absolutely makes you the cheese.
We're gonna be like radio disc jockeys from like the shock jock
Macaroni.
area. Like, oh, you're on macaroni and cheese. I'm the cheese.
Reading your
Roar.
book.
Like, oh, everybody doing in the morning? Oh, traffic is bad.
Player 2 has entered the podcast.
Welcome back, people, to Player 2 Has Entered the Podcast. I am your co-host, Michael Peterson, a.k.a. MC Paperstacks, and with me, as always, is my co-host with the co-most.
Derek Murkison, aka the Merkman, baby.
And Merkman, we got a very special guest today. I am privileged and honored to introduce my cousin, Ryan King. Ryan, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Ryan here, aka SgtPinkBeast, aka Don't Worry Xbox, Someone Loves You.
That's right. Ryan
I'll
is...
be hating on it too much.
Ryan is an Xbox gamer, so we're getting a little bit of Xbox representation because
Okay.
I could take it or leave it. Do you game at all on Xbox, Derek?
I do, just like, obviously they're exclusives they do have. Gears of War and Halo, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, what you got to say about that, Ryan? Gears of War,
I
Halo,
mean-
that's all we have.
You know what? Achievements will always feel better than trophies to me. So
I'll give you that. I will give you that.
You know, they have, yeah, because they added like a hierarchy for Xbox One, right? So you get different sounds depending on how tough the achievement was to unlock. That's right.
yes, sir.
Oh, sweet.
I dig that. Well, we got a lot of stuff going on this week, but again, I'm very happy you decided to join us. What's going on with you this week, Ryan? I want to check in with you first.
Oh, nothing much, man. Just working crazy hours. I really don't have any time to game except on the weekends anymore.
I see. And what's it like working in this pandemic?
Oh, dude, my stuff hasn't changed at all. If anything, I'm busier than ever.
Wow.
I think I clocked 65, 70 hours last week.
Goddamn.
Now, what do you do for a living? Are you front facing? Like, do you have to see a lot of people? What's going on with that?
Oh, yeah. So just due to the nature of the business, I don't want to talk too much about it, but I do interact with the public a lot, out driving, out interacting with people, managing the second shift aspect of my job. But yeah, it's been nonstop since this pandemic stuff started.
So what you're trying to say is, if you have to tell us any more about your job, you'll have to kill us.
Right.
I mean, as you alluded to in episode 1 or 2, I do like my guns, Mike. So
Yeah, that's true.
Jackass.
also, aren't you armed on the job? Or
Yes.
are we allowed to talk about that? Okay.
No, I am.
Okay, so that's all you need to know. He's out here in these streets, but he keeps it clean and he keeps it safe. So I actually went out in the streets myself a little bit. Now, I do have the fortunate privilege of working from home, and my job, I think it's sensing a lot of people are getting a little stir crazy. And we used to have this kind of like night of inclusion event that we started, and we've had a couple of them at different sites, and I managed one last year where we'd all get together, drink, and talk about the communities we have at work, because we do a lot of like side communities, just a lot of social stuff. People in offices get bored, man. You know how it is. And one of the things they had an idea to do was just to have people or families, friends, anybody that's like within their bubble, go out and take pictures in front of like restaurants or buildings or monuments that, you know, speak to them either culturally or personally, things like that. So I thought we'd participate. My wife and I, we took our son Ben out, and we took pictures out on the canal in front of the bear statue. We went down to the circle, and we even actually checked out the Black Lives Matter mural that's downtown in Indianapolis. It's pretty cool. I actually got to take a video of it, got to check out all the individual art. It seemed like a different artist tackled each separate letter. And then I put that up on Facebook, and then a friend of mine notified me that very night somebody defaced it. And there's video of somebody like spreading white paint all over it, which, what the hell, man?
Makes sense.
You know, I hate to say this, but when I was there, as we were leaving, I was thinking about the fact that I was kind of amazed somebody hadn't defaced it already. That's where we're at with my faith in humanity. It's just like, we can't have anything, man. Seriously.
Nope. But we can have video games.
Yes, we can. So on to...
At least for now.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, at least for now, until that somehow gets banned like TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, Okay, never mind. I was gonna say
No, go ahead.
I don't completely disagree with that because Japan has also done the same thing
Hmm.
after reports of user information being leaked to the Chinese, not
Government.
government, but the yeah, well, yeah, government,
Well, the
since
communist
yeah,
regime.
since they
Yeah.
control everything. So yeah, I don't completely disagree with it, and TikTok was just kind of cancer anyway. So
Well, I don't know. I really enjoy it, and I think it's a social app. I mean, it reminds me more of what was that? The Vine,
Vine.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of comedy and a lot of good things have come from it. And if anything, occasionally, like my TikTok feed usually consists of gamer jokes, pranks, and thirst catching. And I don't
Mm.
follow any of the thirst catchers, but they just keep
there's
showing up.
so much,
It's like I'm in the
so much.
demographic. They're like, "Do you want to see my butt?" And I'm like, "I'll watch it for a couple of seconds, I guess."
Right.
But
But
only
then,
4 out of the 6 seconds.
yeah, then I gotta move on.
Exactly.
Then I gotta move on. But here's the thing with that. I understand from a government employee perspective. If you have a government employee issued phone, or if you're in the military, and I think that we already ban other like apps along those lines. I think preventing Americans from doing business with it and cut, because the thing is, preventing Americans doing business with it starts that snowball where eventually, no one can make money from it. And a lot of people are making decent money from it. And I think that's actually kind of cool. But also, it won't show up on the stores anymore. It won't be supported. It won't receive updates. And it will become unusable for the general public. And it's done some good. Like we talked about last week how all those Zoomers got on TikTok and spread the word about social issues. And TikTok even tried to like stamp that down. But what they did is they're like, okay, we're going to do a makeup tutorial. So what you want to do is you want to get this style of mascara. It's number 7. And I just
Yeah,
want you to
that
let you know that
always.
the communist Chinese government is locking people up and Muslims. And I think that's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And also they spread the word to try to buy up as many or reserve as many tickets as possible for that Tulsa rally that ended up being a disaster. So that way not many people would go and get sick. As we learned, a lot of people did go and they got sick. In fact, Herman Cain died from it. So I mean, it's not like it didn't do any good. So I like that you brought up that point, Ryan. I think there's a good argument to be had about privacy. I just don't know if dropping the hammer on it the way they have is the right way to go. It feels a lot like, I don't know, it feels like government intervention and censorship to me. I don't know. What's your take on that?
As far as the censorship aspect goes, I don't see it so much as censorship. I see it more as, I don't know, the app itself just seems kind of useless. So, like, I mean, aside from
So you have no personal stake in it. So you're like, whatever, I don't
no,
care if they ban it.
yeah, exactly. And I've never been a big social media guy anyway.
Mm.
I don't see a lot of point in it. I mean, obviously there's connecting with family, which is the main and one of the only reasons I still even have a Facebook is to connect with family out of state, stuff like that. But I social media in general to me has always been just more of it's an interesting test in how humans interact with each other, but other than that, I don't really see a value in it.
Okay. I could get why, from your perspective, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I think because of the precedent this is setting and the bias involved, I see this as a bad thing just from, what does this mean moving forward for any kind of social media app that pisses off the president?
Hmm.
I don't like where this is headed. Now, if you could step back and objectively go, hey, this is providing a service, millions of people are taking advantage of it, and then all of a sudden, no, we're just not going to have it because somebody doesn't like it. I don't know. To me, I think that's the major thing. But again, I think we all have biases on the subject, so it just depends on where you're coming from when you weigh in. I totally get where you're coming from, certainly. Ryan, do you follow Video Game Donkey at all?
No, I've heard you talk about him, but like I said, I don't have a ton of free time, so I haven't had a chance to look into him.
No worries. I would check him out if you can because he's pretty funny. But he did a video on Ghost of Tsushima. Did you see that, Derek?
I haven't watched it yet because I don't want any spoilers.
Okay, well, luckily, I don't. Well, then again, I don't know if there are spoilers or not because I wasn't. I'm far enough in the game where I didn't see any personally.
Yeah, I'm
But do you
still in Act
remember?
1.
Do you remember when I told you about the kick, the typhoon kick that you can do, and how you can't knock somebody off a cliff if you're at the edge of the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, he found that out too. It's in his video. He actually kept trying to kick somebody off, and they kept bouncing off of the air. And he's like, "What the? Come on!" And then somehow he succeeded in doing it, and then he shot the guy with the arrow, and the guy flew from off the cliff back onto the ground again.
Sweet.
So I'm not the only one having that problem. Oh
Gotta
man,
love glitches.
yeah,
Yep.
no,
Gotta love it.
yeah, no, I've definitely had my fair share. In fact, speaking of glitches, we'll talk about it later on. But one of the games I've been playing this week, Dynasty Warriors 9, full of them.
9. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. That's my opinion too. That's probably what I'll be talking about when I get to that on Monday Night Brawl. Right now I'm at 5. I just finished 5, and I'll be doing 6. Not this Monday because I'm taking a social media break, but I'll be doing 6 probably the following Monday. It's bad. So Ghost of Tsushima, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that because there's a whole lot to say still about that game. I'm really gushing about it. Have you had a chance to play it yet, Ryan?
No.
Do you have any interest in playing it?
Japanese Dark Souls. I'm good. I'm really good.
It's not. Well, first of all, Dark Souls is Japanese.
Whatever.
This would be like
Japanese
American
setting
Dark Souls.
Souls.
It was made by Americans, but
It's definitely not as difficult as Dark Souls.
not at all. In fact, it's the antithesis of Dark Souls. Let me explain. So, in Dark Souls, when you die, you get severely punished, and they set you up to die a lot, right? So there's a dude around the corner that's going to one-shot you. There's an enemy that's going to do some kind of tricky animation that you can't anticipate. In fact, they rely on the fact that you're going to die several times in order to learn your way through, kind of dig through the core of this apple, so to speak, as slow as you can.
Right.
With Ghost of Tsushima, not only do they empower you to be a real badass, but they have varying difficulty levels. So on medium, and I'm assuming anything below medium, you can take several hits before you die, and you have several tools at your disposal to stop an enemy from hitting you or even getting close to you, like ghost weapons. You can throw an explosive bomb at them or a kunai, and then they'll kind of be stunned and just wait for you to finish them. So and the best thing is, if you die, you immediately start back where you were, and the loading is almost instant. No penalty, you don't lose souls, you don't lose experience points, nothing. You just try again, like Super Meat Boy. Like you hit a saw blade and boom, you're back to the start.
Right. I remember hearing you guys talk, or you make that comparison a couple episodes back.
It's an action game, and I know you've played action games before. Like, what's your favorite action game, if you had to name one? Like, I mean, I'm talking along the lines of like Bayo or Devil May Cry or.
Devil May Cry is a solid one.
It's like Devil May Cry, except there's no like A through B or S rank popping up in the corner to tell you how badass you're doing. You're gonna know if you're doing badass, but like it's the same thing. You can style on these fools. I do it every week. Like, go check out. Shameless plug. Go check out my Twitch channel, MC Paper Stacks, and you will see there are several episodes of Ghost of Tsushima up. Just pop one in, or look at some of the highlights from the earlier episodes, so you don't have too much of a spoiler.
Right.
You'll see, like, I do just fine, and I'm not like the best. I'm not like the best at video games ever in the world. I am currently playing on Insanity, but the game enables me to do that because yes, while I can get one-shotted, so can they. And that's the thing that I think Dark Souls is missing. They seriously disempower you, disadvantage you, and then severely punish you when you die. None of those things are happening in Ghost of Tsushima.
I don't know. Just seeing the art style.
If you ain't feeling it, I'm saying if you ain't feeling it, you ain't feeling it. I'm not trying to sell you on it, but I do want to make the distinction. It is not Japanese Dark Souls because A, Dark Souls is already Japanese. And
Shut up. Japanese setting.
Oh man. Speaking of funny conversations, though, I'm entering that phase of parenting with my son. He's 4 now, where every conversation we have is an Abbott and Costello routine. And Derek, you may already be there. If not, you're going to get there soon. But tell me if this sounds familiar. Your kid asks you something nonsensical, and you don't even know where to go from there. And then they end up making something completely hilarious. I'll give you an example. The other day we were driving. My son turns to me. He goes, "Dad, when do you go invisible?" I'm like, "What? When do you know you need to go invisible?" And I was like, "Son, I don't even know what that means." And he goes, "Oh, well, invisible means is when somebody can't see you." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Did that? Let me spell it out for you.
Oh, that kid. I love him. But yeah, every conversation just basically, and of course my wife is just sitting there laughing at me. She can see. I'm like, all right, fine. It's either that or he'll tell me something that I think is not true, and I go, I don't think that's true. And then he presses me on it, and I look it up, and it's true. So now he's proving me wrong on things. We were doing like a walk on the trails back here by our house, and he was like, "Tell me about all the poisonous animals and insects and fish." And I was like, "Okay, well, there's a blowfish it's like a Japanese blowfish, and only one part of it's edible." And I was like, there's like snakes, and he goes, "Tell me about the insects." And I was like, "Well," he goes, "about monarch butterflies. Monarch butterflies are poisonous." And I was like, "No, I don't think they're poisonous." He goes, "Yeah, they are." I was like, "No, I don't think they are." He goes, "They are." And I looked it up. Yeah, monarch butterflies are poisonous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my 4-year-old son taught me
Your
that.
ass.
That's where we're at now. So I guess he was watching like a nature documentary or show or something with his grandmother. So don't doubt your children, people, is the lesson here. If they tell you something, instead of immediately dismissing it, you got a phone in your pocket. Look it up first.
Right. Before you make a fool of yourself.
Before you make a fool of yourself, because now my son knows that I'm an idiot, and I was hoping to keep that away from him at least until he was around, like, you know, I don't know, adolescent age. So
Well, now he's gonna start making shit up, and you're just gonna believe it.
Yeah, that's the slippery slope, man. Watch yourself.
yeah, no, my life is a constant waking nightmare when I navigate conversations with him. It's great. I love being a parent. It's awesome. So, yeah, you had mentioned something. I know we were going to talk about it a little bit later in gaming news, but I kind of wanted to bring it up now because I think it's kind of interesting. Xbox, you want to talk about about what's going on with Halo and the launch of the Xbox console, just to kind of get everybody up to speed?
Yeah. So basically, earlier this week, Microsoft announced that they are delaying Halo Infinite until 2021, which is upsetting a lot of Xbox fanboys because it was touted as being a launch title, and now it's not going to be available when the system launches in November, which they also established earlier this week. So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Halo, first off, it didn't look great. I saw the trailer. It didn't. It looked awful.
That's so interesting. Do you remember when we were talking? I don't know if you heard the episode, Ryan, but Derek's a big fan. You're a big fan. I'm not. I was like, oh, this looks cool. I bet Halo people are happy. I was so off the mark with that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no,
it does. It does not look great at all.
Fair.
If you look at screenshots and whatnot, it looks terrible. But that might be the reason for the delay. Actually, I'm sure that is.
That's absolutely, that's got to be. I just don't, dude. I don't know what you release with the console if it's not Halo. If you're not releasing Halo day one with the console, what is your selling point?
And here's the other thing I think we haven't discussed or people aren't thinking about. So just to recap, Series X launching in November, right?
Yep.
Okay, without Halo. All right. What else is happening this fall in the world that might make it tough for people to want to spend, I don't know, extra money on a luxury item?
The
Housing, the housing crisis. People are being booted out of their homes, and it's going to really come to a head in the next couple of months. Like, you think it's bad now, it's going to get really bad. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be kind of bumped down on the hierarchy of needs. They're not going to be thinking about, I'm kind of bored. They're going to be thinking about, where am I going to sleep tonight? So I mean, I think console launches overall are going to take a hit, but I think Xbox in particular, because its popularity is, I don't know what its popularity is like overseas. I know it's not good in Japan, but maybe like in Europe. Maybe it can survive based on how it does in Europe. But in North America, it's going to be, particularly America, it's going to be pretty tough. And I'm wondering how they're going to weather this storm. And that's the thing that I'm kind of thinking about is we got a lot of stuff dropping this last quarter, as we usually do in our world in video games and things like that. But in the real world where people are out here trying to survive, it's not looking so great. So I'm wondering how those two things are going to come to a head. What do you guys think?
I personally don't think that Microsoft is trying to sell us this console.
Really?
Yeah, I really think that they just decided they needed to make a console because they know that Sony was coming out with one. Because I think that they're trying to get more of their services across than anything else. Because the fact that everything is going to be playable on the Game Pass and on PC, it just makes a new Xbox kind of obsolete as soon as it releases.
Why even make one then? Because at this point, I mean, like, they're going to take a loss on production. I mean, unless they charge an arm and a leg for it, then why would they do that?
Well, because they still want to have their leg in that console market. Because if they don't have it in there, they're still giving up lots of money. So I just feel like it was a necessity for them to come out with it rather than them feeling that they had something superior to take the world by storm or whatever. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Microsoft is letting me down.
Or what if it's their way of easing into a like primarily PC market, knowing that it is easier to increase the power of a PC than to continuously buy new consoles to keep up with something that you can build yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with that too.
Yeah, I mean, it goes along the lines of what you were saying and what we were saying last week. Yeah, with them focusing on the other services. That's actually not a bad viewpoint, Ryan. I agree with that. Huh. Well, good luck, Microsoft. I'm sure you'll make it through somehow, you trillion-dollar company.
I'll be here for you, Xbox, I promise.
Yeah, because
Ryan stands for you, Xbox.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that Xbox is all that Microsoft has going for them.
And it's not.
It's not.
Not
It's
No,
probably
not
the
even
bottom
close.
of the totem pole, which is why they're not even like.
They're like, I will survive. Hey,
Yeah,
hey.
exactly. They're not phased by what we have to say about the Xbox being
Yeah.
meh.
And Sony, at least they can rely on their movie division.
Right.
I was joking.
Yeah.
Sony movies suck. Anyways,
What about Spider-Man?
which ones? The ones where they loaned it and Disney actually did it, or the Amazing Spider-Man?
The Loan.
Or how about the Ghostbusters relaunch? Or how about
Ooh.
Pixels?
Mm.
I think
See
I've
where we're
played
going.
Delicious.
I think I've played 4 games on my PS4, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I 100%ed the Spider-Man. I 100%ed Horizon Zero Dawn. I tried God of War, got bored.
Oh no.
How'd you get bored with God of War? It's so good.
I don't know. I think I got stuck in one part and I just got tired of trying to mess with it. So I plan on going back to it, but honestly, the only thing PS4 offers to me as a gamer that I don't already get from my Xbox, since I'm not a giant JRPG guy like you two,
Mm-hmm.
is MLB The Show.
Okay.
If MLB The Show was on any other console, or if 2K can ever get their heads out of their asses and bring back an actual baseball game, I won't have a need for my PS4.
You hear that, 2K? Take your head and you pull it
Yeah.
right out of your tuchus. Okay?
Mhm.
Well, speaking of movies, I finally saw the Sonic movie.
Really?
Yeah, have you
haven't
guys
it
seen
yet?
that? No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
hadn't seen it. It was on sale on Vudu for like $10, and I was like, why not? You know, I liked it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as good as Detective Pikachu, but it was pretty fun.
I actually
And
think it was.
I don't know. I mean,
Sacrilege.
we can.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe it's.
both movies are, they're middle ground good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like they're not amazing, but for video game movies or movies based on video game properties, they're top tier.
Well, what I think gives Pokemon the edge, because here's what I like about Sonic. I thought Sonic was a really endearing character. I thought it was his whole angle about wanting to fit in and really appreciating like where he was living in exile was cool. Jim Carrey was Jim Carrey. The plot and everything was kind of loose. It was we'll throw his rings over here and then he's got to go get them. I mean, he could go get them really quickly, but he doesn't know where San Francisco is and he doesn't know how to
Right.
Google it. So whatever. And he's
Hey,
not.
can't swim.
Yeah, but the thing is, he totally could have just went there and looked around. He would have found it eventually. He probably would have found it way
Yeah.
faster than driving a truck. But I think he more wanted to bond with Donut Lord, which great name.
Right.
And I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it even more because I watched it with my 4-year-old, and he was really digging a lot of the jokes that would go not over my head, but under my head, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Where I'm just like, oh yeah,
Right
Batman
in
fall
there.
down, go boom. He's like, he was dying. So, and there was a lot of fun sequences. I think you can see some genuine effort there, but you can also kind of see the cynicism behind like, hey, we have this property, we want to make some money off of it. I saw both, you know. Not to say that it's not the same thing with Pokemon, but with Pokemon, it felt more organic and natural because there are people in the Pokemon world, so they didn't have to like send Pikachu to Earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they already had like everything established and it had a story within that universe and everything just felt like it fit better and it was an interesting story. And again, it was Baby's first detective story, but again, I wasn't expecting anything more complex, and it still had some surprises, even though I kind of guessed them, and it had some twists and turns. Ryan Reynolds is as charming as ever. I'm a really big fan of his, so that's what edged it out for me. Plus, I mean, Pikachu is so cute. And he
Yeah,
loves
you're right.
coffee.
You're right. Detective Pikachu is better.
Yeah,
So
but Sonic's good. I was
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised as I went in with low expectations. I was like, you
You're
know,
expecting Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and you got the original Mortal Kombat.
yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
That's what I got. I got the original Mortal Kombat. For fans who know all the references and were there for, you know what, I like Sonic. He's cool. Let's see what this has got. What's got. And again, I was fully expecting them to drop the ball because it's not like Sonic is a property that's been handled particularly well. I think even the most ardent Sonic fan can agree to that.
Yeah.
I mean, they
So-
almost did with that crappy first design.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know, the fact that they actually went back and redid that is pretty amazing because that was a lot of work. Unfortunately, it's probably a lot of late nights and a lot of crunch for people who didn't get paid as much as the people who produced it.
I mean, they didn't have a choice. If you didn't,
Right.
that thing was
It
gonna
would've bombed.
bomb.
Yeah.
It was gonna be a complete loss.
Well, the choice is not to put it out as quickly as they did, or maybe test the thing in the first place. Who knows? But yeah, I get where you're going with that, and it's a miracle that they even were able to pull it off. So yeah. If
Ever
you are
know? Stop trying
interested,
to make stuff look realistic.
get out to Vudu and or your digital movie purchaser of choice, or Amazon or wherever, because it seems to go on sale pretty often, and I think it's worth it. So as far as other current events, what you got going on this week, Derek?
Me, let's see. Yeah,
Give
there's
us
a couple
some.
of things that I saw. So, as you may know, Netflix was creating a Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series,
Mm-hmm.
and Avatar fans are really excited. Did you know about this, Michael?
No, no, no. When you told me about it, like prior, like briefly in the notes or whatever, I was kind of surprised. So I do vaguely remember you saying something about the live action being worked on, but it exited my brain, which is weird because I'm a
Yeah,
fan.
and so the issue that's happening right now with that series is the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated series, are leaving the Netflix live action series.
So they
So
were
they're no longer
collaborating
working
on
on
it.
it.
They were working on it, and now they're not.
Yep. And as you may know, that will create a whole lot of issues. I don't know if you saw the last Airbender movie.
I did.
I don't know if they had any say in that whatsoever. I know M. Night
There's
Shyamalan
no way in hell they did.
kind of, yeah, so we see what happens when the original creators are not involved in a project involving that property. So,
What could
um,
happen?
yeah, what could happen? And we saw the same thing with Game of Thrones, really,
Yeah,
that final season.
this is what is gonna probably primarily drop my interest or really lower my expectations because it doesn't guarantee it's gonna be bad. But I don't like Avatar because of its themes. Although its themes obviously are attractive to me, that's why I checked it out in the first place. I liked it because of the way those themes were executed, and that is due in large part to the creators. They did a really good
Mhm.
job. It's one of the, I mean, we talked about it recently. It's one of the tightest TV shows there is. From start to finish, they had a vision and they executed it well. It's like the 10-year MCU plan of TV shows. They really got it
Right,
in. If you take those fantastic creative minds who really understand the core of our Avatar and what it's about and made it what it is, and you remove them from the picture, you could get something good or bad, but either way, it's not really going to be what you fell in love with either way.
right.
So that's unfortunate.
Ryan, do you watch Avatar, or have you seen it?
Yeah, I grew up around the time the original series was coming out. So like I mean, I was probably 17, 18 at that time. It's been out
Oh,
what, a decade now?
Yeah, no, both
yeah,
you
yes.
and Derek, you and Ryan, I think you guys are about the same age. What year were you guys born? Ryan, you were born in 1991, right?
Yeah.
90.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys are the same
so
age.
so yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
grew up when Avatar was airing new episodes on TV. So like, yeah, I've seen all of that. Unfortunately, I've seen the movie too, but I have not seen The Legend of Korra.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's on
Sean
Netflix
was,
now.
yeah,
I would I
Sean
would
was
give it
saying
a
it's pretty
watch.
good. Sean was saying it was pretty good, and I'm definitely gonna check it out. I haven't had a chance to yet. I mean, other than like way back when I checked out like the first episode, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. I was like, where's my Aang?
I miss you, Aang. Yeah, I'm still interested in checking out. Now, the original creators of Avatar, did they work on Legend of Korra? Do you know?
Yes, they are completely involved with that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I need to go back and check that out. So for sure, and I will. I have a physical version that I bought and just never. That's where I originally started watching it,
hmm
and I never got around to finishing it. But now that's on Netflix, I'll try. But I got other TV shows to watch because all that buzz about Umbrella Academy, and I know we talked about it briefly last week. We've been watching that. In fact, my wife's obsessed. She gets
really,
mad when I have too much going on in the evening. Like last night, I had to record a podcast for my job, and I was like, "Hey, honey, I gotta go record this." She goes, "What? But then you gotta stream at 10. We're not gonna get to watch Umbrella Academy." And I was like, "I know, I'm sorry." And she's like, "No," because she's a good friend, and she is not going to try to watch the show without me, and I appreciate her for that.
no,
But I'm into it. We just at this point, a lot of interesting plot stuff is happening, but we just want to know why that guy was living on the moon. Why won't they tell us? Why won't they tell us?
they still haven't told you.
They still haven't told me.
Are you in
And
season 2?
no, we're not in season 2 yet, but
Oh,
we're
okay.
we're pretty far along in season 1. We're to the point where we understand everything that's going on with 5 and the whole
hmm
time travel thing, and we still don't know why the hell one was living on the moon. We just want to know why he's living on the moon. Just tell us.
Right.
I had a theory in the very beginning before like his whole like deformity was revealed, the source of that. I thought that maybe his power, because he was so strong, his power was how, and there's an actual condition linked to this, where people can develop muscle faster than others.
hmm
But his muscle acceleration was so big that they did like a trajectory, and he wouldn't live past like 30 if he was here on Earth. So he went to the moon where there's less gravity and therefore less muscle growth to elongate his life. That's what I thought was going on.
Oh, okay, that's actually a good theory.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was pretty solid. But again, that all got shot to shit when I found out why he was deformed.
Right.
So now I'm like, why was he on the moon?
What's the
Ryan,
point in thinking?
have you seen Umbrella Academy?
I haven't.
I wasn't really interested because the trailer didn't really sell it for me. It was just like, look at these ragtag superheroes. They dance. I'm like, I don't care if they dance.
I think that
And
oh, sorry, didn't
no,
mean
go
to
ahead.
cut you off.
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say, I think that's what threw me off. I mean, you had Marvel's The Runaways, you had Hulu had a show that was about like X-Men mutants and stuff, and it's like it
Oh
seems
yeah,
like everyone's The Gifted, everyone's doing a mutant show. And when I first saw, like you said, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, is this just another throwaway mutant show? Like, is this
Yeah.
what we're doing now?
yeah. I don't think it is.
I got CW vibes a little bit, but it's not CW. No, it isn't like
Yeah,
at
not
all.
even
It's not.
close.
It's not even close.
Well,
It's definitely a more adult show. I'm into it so far, though.
yeah.
I would recommend checking out. It's got a little bit of that. We talked about the first episode in the previous podcast. It's got a little bit of that Netflix bloat, but it does eventually pick up, and there's enough threads that you're interested on where they're going to go or where they're coming from that it gets you hooked. So, and the fact that I know that everybody loves season 2 even more than season 1, and I'm already moderately interested in season 1, has got me propelling forward. And the fact that my best friend currently upstairs bemoaning the fact that I'm not watching Umbrella Academy with her, that helps me move along too. So, what are you gonna do?
I might have to get through that first season
Yeah,
because the only thing that throws it off for me is Ellen Page. She's just so bleh.
yeah, but
If
you know what?
she's
That actually fits her character in this because and you probably remember this because you got a few episodes in. Her whole character arc is her whole life. She was constantly told and reinforced that she is nothing special, that she is unremarkable in any way. So her psychology is built around that. So they're like, well, who can we get to act like they're unremarkable? Ellen Page?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm
And
waiting on
she
them to
nails it.
reveal her powers.
Right? Like,
Watch, her powers
have
are going to be that everyone treats her like shit.
Yeah, you have to expect she's gotta have some kind of power. Come on now, she's gonna be born
Right.
as fantastically as everybody else and just come out normal. Yeah, no, we were thinking the same thing. But yeah, the only other TV show I'm kind of excited about, actually kind of is an understatement, I'm really excited about it, is Lovecraft Country. It's premiering this Sunday.
Is that
Well,
on
at the
Prime?
time of this release, tomorrow night or tonight, I should say, Sunday night, this Sunday night. So, and that's on HBO. Are you either of you plan on checking that out?
Yeah, I might give it a little looky-loo.
I think I have HBO, so maybe.
It looks really good. I mean, first of all, Jordan Peele's producing it, and
Oh, well, there you go.
with
Yeah,
him
I'll
on the
check it out.
project, I'm instantly
At
my
least
interest is
intrigued.
increased. Yeah, and it's based off of a series of graphic novels written not by Lovecraft but about Lovecraftian themes. I'm all about I'm kind of a big fan of people going mad from seeing something so insane and monster design and the old ones and creature. I'm into it. I'm into it. I played through the Sinking City all the way and 100%ed it, and that game was janky as hell because I'm just into it. So I'm definitely going to check it out. But we'll probably be talking about episodes of that show on the podcast moving forward. So we'll see how that goes. I feel like there was one more bit of news that we glossed over, something about Disney. Do you recall what that was, Derek?
Oh yeah, so as you know, Disney purchased Fox Television in I believe its entirety. They just announced that they are getting rid of the 20th Century Fox branding,
Hmm.
and they are renaming it 20th Television. In my opinion, just I don't like it. I mean, it doesn't affect my day to day, but 20th Century Fox just has such an iconic history
Yeah, they're
in
kind of
film and
they're
television.
erasing a legacy. Yeah.
Yeah, and to rename it 20th Television, I would at least renamed it 20th Century Television
Mm-hmm.
because that still has that nice ring to it. But
Yeah.
yep, they're getting rid of that. They are wiping Fox from the face of the earth.
I mean, that's what Disney does, though. That's a very monopolistic move of them, to, like
Oh yeah,
completely eradicate any acknowledgement of your former competition.
You know
right.
what's so pernicious about Disney is not just that they do that, because every business, and we're going to talk about the Apple and Epic beef pretty soon, but every
Mhm.
business is out there to become that monopoly and crush its competition. The thing that's pernicious about Disney is it's good.
Oh yeah,
People are not even griping because a lot of the content that Disney pushes out, even if they take really good creators like Edgar Wright and they take the soul out of it and they go, whatever, we don't need you. They still succeed well. They put out quality stuff. And so people are reticent to fight against all their moves. You know, like the bullying movie theaters to play Star Wars more, or whatever they try to, or whatever crap they try to pull, because they keep delivering entertainment. And I worry that that's going to be ultimately what helps them rise to the top without any opposition. You know?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing about that? We're banning TikTok. We're not going to try to stop Disney from becoming this mega conglomerate controlling everything. Jeez, man.
I mean, if you're gonna do that though, you got to step in and stop Apple and Microsoft in a sense from controlling the phone market.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Break up all the big companies. Destroy them. Thank you for accidentally being left wing for a second, Ryan. I appreciate that. Whenever somebody's like, "Well, what are you going to do next? Feed everybody?" Yes. Yes, exactly.
Hey, I'm not saying it's I think Apple and Microsoft both have their faults.
Oh no, and I'm not knocking you. I always considered you more of a libertarian though than like somebody who would be considered left. Would that be accurate?
You know, the political test I took would agree with you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've always considered you, libertarian, and I like a lot of discussions that we've had in the past, which have gotten heated. You know what? And I'd like to take a chance to apologize to you, actually.
Aw.
It's all love, man. You ain't hurt my
'cause
feelings.
Because we grew up together. We got a lot of dumb stories. I told that story, which I kind of messed it up. I said it was Lisa's stepdad instead of your stepdad, her boyfriend. Which I don't know if you would consider Michael your stepdad. He was in the picture, very briefly.
Yeah, for a little while.
Yeah, the Metal Gear story about the guy being tortured and us going, oh yeah, we're watching something incredibly violent. But no, we've gotten arguments in the past, and I think it's really easy, especially for me, like this is part of my growth journey, just to punch below the belt or dismiss somebody's opinion if they disagree with me. I think a lot of us do that. I think the biggest mistake you can make is assume somebody is stupid or disregard their intelligence based on simply the fact that they disagree with you, you know? And I think we have to stop doing that. I think we need to find a way to express ourselves, not take things personally, and allow somebody else to sit on what we said, right? AOC talks about the golden gate of retreat. It's where if somebody, let's say somebody said something to you that's racist, and if you get upset, you're fully within your right to do that. Even if you yell at them, like, I get it, because that's the emotional response. But if you do have the wherewithal to sit back, why do you think that? You know, and like just have a conversation. Okay, well here's why I think what I think. Here's why I think that's hurtful, right? And allow them to just sit on that without immediately condemning them and calling them a racist and calling them names. There's a chance that they're gonna go home with that and they're gonna sit on it and they're gonna think about it, and maybe, just maybe, you might have pulled them further towards something better, you know? So you and I, you know, we're going to have our disagreements because we have different political ideologies. But at the end of the day, I know that you're out there doing the best that you can and trying to be the best person that you can be. And I know that you know that about me. So I think if we keep that in our hearts, and everybody out there, if you have conversations with people you disagree with, you got family members who maybe they still support Trump, Jesus Christ. If you can find a way to have a conversation with them, maybe at least on a few things you can see eye to eye. We're all out here trying to do the best we can, right?
You know, I agree, Mike. I will say, though, left-leaning you is way more tolerable than Bible-thumping you.
That's fair.
That was a time when it was, oh, God, you were insufferable.
Yeah, I know. I've made a lot of mistakes in the name of Christianity. I think a lot of people did. For this is a history I haven't discussed on the podcast, but my wife and I left religion, I want to say, like 3 years into our marriage. And it definitely freed me of a lot of anger and a lot of hate. No knock against people who are religious, but I think that sometimes it's easy to take it to a dark place because you feel like you have all the answers, or you feel like, because a lot of people, it's not faith-based like it should be. It's fact. They're like, this is what the Bible says. That's true. F you.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. You're gay. Get out of here. But yeah, once I was able to go, you know what, it is what it is. The universe doesn't have anything personally against me. My children dying are not because of anything I did wrong or my wife did wrong. And I don't have anybody to hate for that. Nobody caused that. It happened, right? And I can do the best I can to pick up the pieces and move forward. I was able to find peace once I was able to set those bricks down, basically. So I'll agree with you there. It's been a journey, and I've been trying really hard. And I think a lot of it, we talked about my mental health journey on the show before, but a lot of it was just a lot of hate I had for myself, or a lot of sourcing self-esteem outside of myself. And it took me a long time. I mean, God, I'm going to be 38 in a couple of months. And I'm just now, in the recent couple of years, finally getting to the point where I feel like I'm at peace, and I'm finally able to kind of, actually like myself. So that is what it is. We're getting deep on the podcast today.
I was getting ready to say, damn, fucking Dr. Phil in the house.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, God, don't compare me to that hack. What? No, bad baby. What do you mean by cash me outside? You really are a bad baby.
As much as you may dislike him, you have to admire the porn stash.
No, I don't.
I love Dr. Phil's mustache. It's the only redeeming quality about him.
Well, maybe one day you'll get to meet him, and he'll give you a ride on it.
Oh,
Hey.
one can only hope.
Well, speaking of riding, what we playing this week? I know Derek, it's Ghost of Tsushima all the way, right?
Yeah.
How far you got in that game so far?
I am, I think, 1 or 2 missions away from the final Act 1 mission. I'm about to go rescue Lord Shimura.
Awesome.
So,
That's
yeah.
pretty hype. That
I
transition
know.
from Act 1 Act 2. Ooh, I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, I know.
But maybe we shouldn't talk too much about it, though, because we need to say that for the spoiler cast, for sure.
Yeah. And let's see. I was going to play, what is it, Mortal Kombat 11. What's the DLC called?
I don't know.
Shit. I forgot. Well, the DLC, the story DLC for Mortal Kombat 11,
Mm.
I had found a copy of it, and I was going to end up getting it for free, but then I looked at the disc and it had like this big old scratch on top of the label, and so I didn't get it.
Okay.
It was quite unfortunate,
Mm.
because I was going to probably play through it earlier this morning, but no, fate had other plans.
Aftermath?
Aftermath, yes, thank you.
There you go.
Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath.
Out in stores now. Buy it. Well, I did a lot of streaming this week, as usual. I thought I would finish Until Dawn last night, as time of recording, Friday night. But I got far enough to where, and it was like late enough to where I think this is going to be a 3-parter. So I'm going to finish Until Dawn this Friday. But it's still great. Love that game. Love all the jump scares. Love the schlock. Love the dialogue. Dynasty Warriors 5 to continue my playing through the Dynasty Warriors numbered sequels. It's good. What can I say? I like it. Had a lot of fun with it. I tried out, and I told you I was going to do this, No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again.
Mm-hmm.
Did not like it. And I wanted to like it so bad. Because it's got so much style, and there's a lot of quirk to it that I dig. I dig the t-shirts. I dig the ramen stalls where you can learn about different types of ramen, and then you can read the articles where they gush about the ramen and do reviews. I like the little trailer hub. I like some of the dialogue, even though it goes on a little bit too long. And the meta is a little bit... It's just like, you're a mid-boss, and then just keep going. They take
Right.
jokes a little bit further to where they're not funny anymore.
Yeah.
And then the gameplay itself, I tried to find some variety, and I couldn't. And then it crashed on me at one point. I think towards the end of the episode, I was trying to get back from the text adventure game with Badman, and it crashed. And I was like, well, guess that's the end of that. But I got through all the way up through the first boss, and there's just not enough variance there for me. Yeah, because it's beautiful. Like, some of the levels are gorgeous looking, but it's just the gameplay isn't there. And I think you can be as stylish and as beautiful and as interesting as you want to be, but if the gameplay is not up to a certain par, it doesn't have to be excellent, but if it's not up to a certain par, and this game I think falls short, it doesn't matter. So it is what it is. I've been playing Dynasty Warriors 9 just in my spare time, trying to find something good about that game. I'll let you know if I ever do. But so
Don't say
far,
that.
it's low effort, man. It really is. Like, if you compare 8 to 9 and how tight 8 is, because they've gotten so good at that Warriors formula, there's just so much laziness, and like the open world is it's buggy. It takes forever to load. The cutscenes are bland and boring. I could go on, but I don't know. Have you played it? It sounds like you kind of disagree.
No, I had high hopes for it, and I've thought about checking it out, but I keep hearing people like you talk about it, and it's just, it doesn't, there's no light at the end of the tunnel for that game.
Yeah. Well, I know you follow the show, so once you hear me talk about playing it on the stream, maybe check it out. You can see for yourself, because I'm going to try to get a vertical slice on the stream so people can see the different aspects of it, and that's part of why I'm playing through it now, because it is open world and it's a lot more slow of a burn as far as advancement. So I want to get far enough in the game where I can show off That way people can't go, oh, you only played the first hour. It opens up after hour 30. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be able to show off all the aspects of the game so that way people can make a better decision about what they think. But so far, man, it's a bit of a letdown. Like, if you want to completely turn your brain off, which is kind of what those games are all about, but I'm like, really turn it off and just grind levels, I guess. But other Dynasty Warriors games do it way better. You know what I mean? There's just no point. So, and maybe if this is a stepping stone to them trying again with Dynasty Warriors 10 and actually doing it well. I've played enough open worlds game, like, especially, there's such a dissonance going from Dynasty Warriors 9 to Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm like, man, y'all don't even know. You have no idea.
You guys try it all.
Exactly. So, it is what it is. I also tried out, because it was on sale on eShop for a few bucks, and I think you talked about this being on sale before, Derek, and I think you even played it, Cat Quest.
Yeah, Cat Quest.
Cat Quest is cool. I like it. It feels a little, you know, baby's first RPG, little mobile kind of, but kind of like almost like Evoland in a way. But I love it. The gameplay loop is satisfying. It's funny. You have this overworld map where you can go to different towns, but that's actually where the battles take place, and you interact with the towns, but you don't actually go inside them. So everything is open world. Everything is overworld except for maybe when you go into a particular shop for an upgrade, or if you go into a dungeon and they have like little mini dungeons strewn throughout the map, and everything has a level on it, so you can have an idea of like where you can go, and if you're trying something a little bit higher level, there's all these little quests of these little stories. You got like a little Navi style partner that follows you around. It's like a little cat fairy. Everything is cat themed. There's tons of cat puns. So if you're more of a dog person, maybe you won't enjoy it as much. I'm kind of more of a dog person, though, and I liked it. So, yeah, I think for a couple of bucks, I think people should check it out. I fully recommend Cat Quest. I think it's definitely not the most complicated RPG that you'll ever play, but it's got active combat. You got your dodge roll. You can use different magics that do different things, like reduce defense or have, like, different directional attacks. And each piece of armor you pick up, like there's only one armor archetype. There's only going to be one broadsword or one knight's helmet or one mage's hat. But each new mage's hat you pick up will like upgrade that mage's hat. So you start with like mage's hat level 1. If you find another one, then all of a sudden it's like level 2 and it increases your magic by however many points, right? So you can go back and forth between like a tank build or a melee build or a magic build, and different enemy types will have different weaknesses depending on if you use physical or magic attacks. So there is a little bit of depth to it, enough to keep someone like me going. And I've played a lot of RPGs, so I fully recommend it. I think it's great. Everybody should check it out. Cat Quest. And Cat Quest 2 is out, but I don't know if it's on sale. But I'll probably grab that too once it's on sale.
Awesome.
Ryan, my good friend, what are you playing this week?
Oh man, one of the best games I've played in a long time, if I'm being real honest with you, Maneater.
Yeah, the shark game.
I want to play that so bad.
Me too.
Yes,
Me too.
yes. Action RPG. You're the shark.
Yes.
You're the shark. You eat people, man. It's amazing. It's brainless. There is a little bit of strategy in the late game, but for the most part, you're just swimming around. There's no talking. There's no annoying interaction with other people. It is the perfect loner game.
It's on-site mentality.
That's right.
Picture Deadliest Catch set in Louisiana.
Okay.
So nothing but Cajun voiceovers. It's amazing. Obviously, since you don't talk, you're a shark. You don't talk. Your story is told through the voice of Chris Parnell,
Perfect.
which makes it even better. For those who don't know, Cyril and Archer and Jerry from Rick and Morty, Chris Parnell, amazing voice actor.
Yeah, one time he actually got high and went to go see the Chronicles of Narnia, I heard.
Yes, that is also true. I forgot about that until
It's all
just
about
now.
the Hamiltons, baby.
It's all about the Hamiltons, baby. Yeah, characters are only really seen in cutscenes, so the story is what it is. I mean, you have to evolve you start as a pup shark. You have to evolve and survive, and your whole goal is to get revenge on the fisherman who killed your mother and disfigured you.
Yikes.
But when you say you evolve, it's quick. The evolving is quick. You can essentially mutate yourself based on completing certain aspects. Dude, I'm jumping 30 feet out of the air, pulling people off bridges. It is a sci-fi movie in a video game. It's amazing.
Sounds cool. That sounds
That
really cool.
does sound
I
great.
heard a criticism, and it was like a light criticism, but I heard that it's kind of hard to either lock on or hit what you're going after sometimes. Did you experience that, or is there a way to tune for that?
Until you realize that the aiming system is focused on what you're actually looking at. So like if once you rotate the camera towards and like once you like center the camera on what you're trying to target, it
Mm-hmm.
you get it down packed pretty simple.
Oh, okay, okay, good. Okay, so it's all about less lock on and more camera control. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because it took me. There's a couple of things where like you fight like strong, but or you can attack boats that are significantly higher level than you, and I was like, wow, this is really tedious and annoying. And then I got the targeting, and I was like, oh, I don't have to attack the boat at all. I just jump up and pull people off the boat, and then the boat's nothing.
Ah, interesting.
So
So you can actually weaken a strong boat by removing its crew.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's
Cool.
it's great. I went full completionist on it.
Yeah.
I beat it last weekend, about 16 and a half hours, full completion.
Cool. All
Sweet.
right, that's a game I
Yeah.
might actually be able to get. It's funny. The older I get and the less free time I have, when I hear a game is like shorter, I get excited. Where it used to be like, I want it to be longer.
Right.
When I was young
Yeah.
and broke and I could only buy like 3 games a year.
Man, with my work schedule, I've been looking for those the 2 or 3 games I can complete in a weekend.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man. Let me recommend a game to you if it isn't already on your radar that I think you would enjoy, and it's another quick one you can complete, but it's a lot of fun, and it's themed up kind of like Maneater. Carrion. Have you heard of that?
Okay. No, I haven't.
You play as like a Cronenbergian mass of flesh and teeth, and you go around this lab like just attacking people and trying to escape the lab.
Hmm. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it. Let me know what you think if you ever check it out.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of my second purchase of last weekend. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Oh man, get those
Awesome.
bikini bottoms.
You know, THQ, specifically THQ Nordic, does really good stuff. So the fact that they were able to go in and remake the Xbox PS2 era SpongeBob game into what it is now, it
Mhm.
handles to me just like a Ratchet and Clank game.
Interesting.
You know, your basic like singular attack. You know, enemies take like one hit for the most part.
Hmm.
Platforming. The only thing I dislike about it is growing up watching SpongeBob. The voice actors aren't the same. Not all of them.
Uh,
Some of them are very close, but there's some like Mr. Krabs was the first one I really noticed. It throws me off a little bit, kind of takes me out of it.
you can't not have Clancy do Mr. Krabs. That's
Oh, dude, I mean, it feels like the voice actors for SpongeBob and Patrick particularly are from the newer iteration.
Uh,
I mean, you can kind of get past that, but it's a game that's nice to just kind of zone out and play. It really does just feel like a Ratchet and Clank game as far as like the way it handles and the platforming aspects.
but did they get, as far as voice actors, did they get too tweezy?
Yeah, let me get that. Don't see
You
we
see, we did love.
Jesus.
Deluxe, deluxe, deluxe. Let me get that.
Every day.
Double.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
so if you haven't already figured it out, Derek, yeah, I checked out Too Easy. He's amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was telling Ryan before we started the show that he should check it out too. I'll have to send you the link. It's good. All right. Well, that's awesome. You know what? It's funny. I think all of us just growing up with video games, we know to kind of be leery around licensed games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all know to be leery around licensed games. And so I see SpongeBob and I'm like, yeah, it's probably one of those shovelware whatevers. But you telling me about it, that's got me kind of excited. I kind of want to check it out now. So that might be on my radar.
Yeah, I
'Cause
might be
I
going
love
to
me a good
pick it
platformer.
up.
What's
Yeah,
that?
it's not a bad game, man. Not that I haven't gotten super far into it, but it is definitely one you can just kind of zone out and platform.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw a disc replay by me has one for 20, so I might go pick that up.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
dude, that's
Still
that's
there.
like half of, or that's I think I paid 30 for it. So yeah, if you get it for 20, man, go for it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of getting it for 20, we on them sweet deals.
Mm.
I need to hear from y'all. I need to hear from Ryan. Ryan, sir, what in them sweet deals you been looking at?
Oh
This week.
man, I picked up. I know y'all hating on Assassin's Creed over here, but
Not
So
No,
what-
no,
Assassin's Creed,
just
hating on
Ubisoft and sexual assault. Assassin's Creed's fine.
Ubisoft.
Assassin's Creed is and always will be one of my favorite series.
I know. You got a tattoo.
I know people. Yeah, I do. I know people hate on the repetitiveness, and it can get repetitive at times. But I did pick up AC Rogue Remastered for $10.
Not bad.
One of my favorite games in the series,
Mhm.
and the fact that it was only on 360 at start was hurtful to my soul. But now that I can play it on one, pretty stoked. You guys obviously know PS4 Fall Guys is free to own.
Mm-hmm.
until like the 31st. So Xbox Ultimate Game Pass or Game Sale or whatever they're calling it, right, is going on right now. So if you're looking for Resident Evil 2, it's $24.
Not bad. No.
Yeah, no, there's like 600 games on sale right now, man.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
giant sale.
Wow.
Crash the Insane Trilogy, $24.
Mm-hmm.
Maneater, 36 bucks, 10% off. So if you're interested,
Okay.
I had a note here, and I hate the fact that I can't read my own notes. 'Cause I shortened it too much, but I got a. Oh,
Let's decipher it together. What does it say?
it says WE/Game of the Year. So I think it was The Witcher 3. I think that was supposed to be a 3 instead of an E. Witcher 3
Okay.
Game of the Year
Yeah.
is $20.
Yeah, that goes on sale a lot. For anybody who
Yeah.
hasn't picked it up yet, definitely do. Obviously, PC would probably be the best, but next to that, Xbox One or PS4. Derek was mentioning, and I'm wondering if this is going to happen, especially now that I'm getting more realistic reports about backwards compatibility for PS4 and it not being universal or always meaning that the game's going to play better. I wonder if they're going to re-release Witcher 3 for PS5.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah. It's
I mean, if
interesting.
they're
That's
releasing
if they-
GTA 5.
Yeah.
Well, you also gotta think CD Projekt Red, they're always working on the next big thing, so they might, unless they outsource it to another company,
Mm-hmm.
then it probably won't get done.
Keep your damn game and give me more Witcher Netflix.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. They're working on it.
Oh, Yennefer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, does Yennefer do it for you, Ryan?
oh God, yeah, dude, she was hot. She was hot with the hump, with the
He
hunch
said
He was
Back
like,
back.
I'll
then.
put the hump in your back, girl.
Yeah, yeah, with the hump, she was like a solid 6, and then oh my God,
So it's-
A solid 6 with a hope.
Woo! Oh, that's so good. You know what's interesting? In the books, they didn't go into her backstory at all. All of that was made up out of whole cloth.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's implied that that's, she probably had some kind of deformity because that's usually how a lot of the witches are made. But yeah, they didn't really go into it, so that was interesting. Cool. Well, Derek, what about yo sweet deals? What you got?
As far as deals that you all can get, I noticed that a lot of the big box stores are running deals on first party Sony and Xbox games.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, I know I saw Days Gone at Target for 20,
Mm-hmm.
which is like the fact that these PS4 first party titles are going on sale so often.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool to see. Let's see, Final Fantasy VII Remake for 40 at Target. Neo
Okay.
2 is only $20.
Ooh, okay.
Like these are relatively new games. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but yeah, basically Death Stranding, $20
All
at
right.
Target. So yeah, check out your Targets, your WalMarts, your Best Buys, Meijer even, and a lot of these recently released games are on sale.
That's cool. Yeah,
Big
I
discount.
hear the PC version of Death Stranding is pretty decent for
Yeah,
those who have access. So
I've heard that game wasn't good.
it is a video game. It has video game characters. There are things that happen in the video game that progress a story that exists.
You're selling me. I'm gonna go out and buy it right now.
Right, it's a
Okay.
video game.
It is a. Do I regret playing it? No, because I think I would just be crazy curious about it. Do I? Let's move on. So, the only thing I have is there are a lot of Switch powerhouse mainstays. You know, your Splatoon 2, Smash Brothers, Mario Party, perhaps. A lot of the, like Luigi's Mansion for sure. A lot of them are $10 off right now, so they're not doing $20 off, but they are doing 10. A lot of them are being sold for like 49 and some change. So if you got any big boy Switch games, first party titles that you've been eyeballing, you know, they hardly ever go on sale. So maybe pick one up, save yourself 10 bucos. You get any
Yeah,
personal? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Walmart almost always has brand new games at $10 off.
That's actually true. You're right. I got Luigi's Mansion at Walmart already for $10 off.
Yeah, so if you're looking for those first party titles, they're usually $50 at Walmart.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You get any cool pickups doing your retail gig this week?
Yeah, so let's see. One of the places that I stop by pretty often, they had a bunch of stuff that they didn't feel like putting into the inventories, and they just gave it to me.
Whoa.
That's just one of those things where you build these relationships, you go in there for years and years, and they just start giving you shit, man. So like I got like 4 Xbox One Connects, 4 PS4 cameras, a bunch of PS4 controllers, Xbox One controllers, just a bunch of peripherals and stuff.
Let me get one of them connects if you don't mind.
I was
Oh,
actually, I'm glad that I got to do this with you, Derek.
yeah,
Can you be on the lookout for Champions Return to Arms for me? I'm trying to get
Champions
my
Return to
hands on one of
Arms.
those.
Yeah, that's a hard one to find, but
Champions
yeah,
of
I
Norrath?
will.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Picked up 3 copies of Pokemon Soul Silver. Those are all up at the eBay store right now.
Hmm.
How much?
You say how much?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
No,
like, I
they're
want to
up
buy
there.
one right now.
Yeah, they're up there. Let's see, Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age Steelbook. I got that. Picked up a copy of Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I think the weirdest pickup that I got, and I don't know if you guys remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, McDonald's had a line of transforming toys
I remember.
with
Yeah.
it's all their food products.
Yeah, like the fries and the burgers all turned was it
Yeah,
robots or?
so
Yeah.
I've got like the Happy Meal, the ice cream cone, the chicken nuggets, the egg McMuffins, the fries, the shakes, and like Big Macs and stuff. Like there's like 17 of these little figures, and
Yeah, Derek
I
got the fries with that shake, baby.
hell yeah. And yeah, that was just one of those cool things that I remember as a kid, and it just lit my soul up to find that.
That's neat.
But yeah, yeah, and those are up for sale as well. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, sounds like both of us will be hooking up with you after the show, picking up some of them
yeah,
sweet deals. Well, let's move on to news. This is going to be a long episode. You guys in for it?
yeah,
I mean, I'm here.
Yeah. We're prior to editing, we're already over an hour in, but I'm liking what content we're putting out. This is a good convo. We got a bit of news. You guys remember Nintendo had that partner direct that everybody was disappointed in. And one of the things that they announced was Nocturne HD. Shin Megami 3 is Nocturne, right?
yep,
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I wonder if Dante's going to be in it. And people are like, no, he wasn't in the trailer. Dante will be in it, but as downloadable content. Boo.
yeah.
Boo.
That's, and I feel like that has to do with them not. They might not have the rights to it fully, or they had to pay for them
Oh, I was going to say,
to
they
get them again.
apparently got the rights because it's DLC now, but yeah.
Yeah,
I,
in order to put them in deals, put them in the game, they had to pay up some more. So that might be why it costs money. But
it's still lame.
yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Speaking of lame, Marvel's Avengers. If
Oh
you're
no.
a Virgin or Verizon customer, you can get a special skin to show what of a corporate shill you are, where
I
you can
was
dress up all your favorite superheroes in Verizon or Virgin colors.
I thought he was
Yay!
just saying if you're a virgin.
Yeah, that's where I thought he
Whoa.
was going with it too. I was like, where's this
Marvel's
going?
Avengers. If you've never had sex, if you no,
It's the
I'm
game for
sorry.
you.
Probably should have been more specific. If you were a Virgin
Virgin
customer
Mobile.
for mobile,
Virgin
yes,
Mobile.
Virgin
There you
Mobile.
go.
Thank you. Yeah, yes. So they're already kind of doing the corporate tie-ins. This game is giving me bad vibes. Just with the whole, like games as a service model, the ongoing thing, all of the tie-ins, the exclusivity with Spider-Man only on PS4, which for people who, I don't know, stand for Xbox, probably pisses you off if you plan to get that game, but you want to have all the characters.
I
Then
do
this,
also have a PS4.
yeah, I know. But the thing is, you would prefer to play it on Xbox. That's your system.
Yeah.
And now you're encouraged, if you want to play a Spider-Man, you got to get on PS. That just sucks. So, yeah. So if you want to stand for Verizon, I guess you can. If you really love your mobile company, you can get that free skin and you can show everybody how much you love Verizon. So that's cool.
Yeah, I saw they were actually giving away free copies if you're a Verizon customer, but you had to like sign up for the rewards and have enough points to buy the voucher or whatever.
And have the most expensive cell service in the country. Yeah, all
Basically,
of that.
yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, their network actually is pretty decent, but for the price, I'm like, I gotta find somewhere in between. Because, like, you got Sprint, which has, like, a terrible network, and you got Verizon, which has the best. And Sprint's the cheapest, Verizon's most expensive. And then somewhere in the middle, you'll find, like, your AT&T. So
Yeah.
that's where I landed.
But
Not
Sprint is
that I'm...
now with T-Mobile now, so
What's that?
Sprint is now owned by T-Mobile now, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, T-Mobile's wasn't really the best either, but
yeah.
if they merge, maybe they'll survive. I don't know. Anyways, the only other thing that I had, and I know this came across your guys' radar too, Epic versus Apple.
Oh yeah.
Epic. So Fortnite. So Epic Games did not like the fact that when it put its games on the Apple Store, that Apple was taking 30% of
Woo.
in-app purchases, which I agree is exorbitant. So they found a workaround where people could pay Epic directly and not have to go through the Apple Store. That's against the terms of service for posting on Apple's platform, so Apple pulled them, and then eventually Google did too. And now Epic is like, oh, 1984, blah, 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 gamers rise up. What do you guys think about that?
Don't get me wrong. Any game whose sole way of making money is microtransactions and season passes, to me is cancer. I hate it.
Fair.
Cannot stand it.
Okay.
I've never been a fan of Fortnite, but I mean, I don't. Epic Games kind of has a point, man. Apple's like the mob. Apple and Google both. It's like, hey, give us that protection money, or we're gonna break your kneecaps.
Yeah, honestly, I think Epic was just straight up wrong in the scenario.
Interesting.
Which, I mean, yeah, 30% is exorbitant and it's a bit unnecessary, but you read the terms of service, and those are it. And,
No one reads the TOS.
well, the company better
they got lawyers that read that shit. Yeah, no,
the company
please
better
believe.
be reading that shit.
Yeah.
But it's like that's like say with PayPal, they have where you can pay friends and family and goods and services. It's against the terms of service of PayPal to tell someone that you only accept friends and family as payment. So if they find out that you are telling people, hey, I'm selling this thing, you pay me through PayPal, but only I don't take goods and services, then they will probably remove your account. And it's pretty much the same thing here. It's like, in order to release on our store, we're taking our cut, but just to completely work around that, and it's like basically trying to evade your taxes.
I don't know, man. If
I don't know, man.
this was on the other foot and this was a small business, would you be saying the same thing? Because 30%, I mean, maybe not be a lot for Epic Games, but if you're gonna have the same standard for everyone, for 30% is a lot for some companies.
I think you're both right. I think Epic is wrong with the way they handled it. I think Apple is the devil and 30% is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that really bugs me about Epic's way they're going about this is they're trying to say like, oh, amidst some real issues going on with people right now in freedom, they're like, oh, poor us, billion-dollar company, they're taking advantage of us, you guys should rise up, even though they knew exactly what they were doing, and they knew what they were doing when they went into the agreement, and they're trying to get people to fight against it for their advocacy. But what happens when they become the monopoly? Well, we already know, because the way Epic has been rising up, especially with their store, is to purchase rights to games so they can only be exclusively played through Epic. Epic already pulls this monopolistic bullcrap. So for them to try to act like they're on the side of the people and that they're fighting against Big Brother when they are in fact vying to be the next Big Brother is a little gross.
Yeah.
My take, just to say, my take is let them fight. Sit back and just stay out of it. It's none of our business. And honestly, I mean, it sucks if you prefer to play Fortnite on your iPhone or whatever. I don't know what the hell.
Which I don't know who would.
Right? Like, why?
Well, some people maybe only have access. Maybe it's like an 8-year-old and all they have is their iPhone. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that 8-year-old doesn't have a lot of clout anyways. They can't get online and go, come on, Twitter Army, let's do this. But still, the fact that they're trying to do that, get out of here with that bullshit. We all see through you.
No, correct me if I'm wrong, though, but you referenced that 1984 thing. From my understanding, that video is a mock of the exact same video that Apple used to claim the same thing, that someone was trying, I forget who it was, but someone was trying to monopolize the communications company, or the communications world. Yeah. So, I mean, for Apple to do that and then block Epic Games, I mean, that's kind of a mic drop for Epic. It's like, hey, you hypocritical SOB.
Yeah, but it's like a former U.S. president mic dropping on a current one for, like, I don't know, drone striking people in another country. You all do it. You know what I mean? Epic doesn't have a leg to stand on as far as like trying to drop any kind of mic, because they do the same shit and they will continue to do the same shit. Just like Apple did when they didn't have a leg to stand on. They were trying to. Every one of these companies are trying to act like they're for us or whatever, but they're just for getting all the cash they can and blocking out the competition. That's the supposed free market. It's turned into this like bloodthirsty den of sharks eating sharks, and they want to get us in the pool with them and be like, help us fight this other shark. Why? Get out of here with that BS.
Now, how do you feel about the fact that the suit itself doesn't actually seek compensation for losses of the game being pulled from the store, but according to the lawsuit, it's to create fair competition between the companies?
Because what does that mean to them?
It's just a publicity stunt. It's grandstanding.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
making billions of dollars. They're going to continue to make billions of dollars. Let them all eat cake, and they can because they can afford it.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Anyways, what else we got? You guys got a lot of news this week. You were telling me about Ryan. What's going on in your world?
Well, first and most importantly, one of the biggest games, or one of the biggest remasters that I'm excited for, 20 days and counting at the time of this recording, till Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered. Oh my God.
Now,
I am so excited.
I'm low key excited too because I love those games. However, they've done HD remasters in the past, or they did that one that went on like Xbox Live that was really bad, and then we
Tony
have
Hawk Pro Skater 5. Yeah.
Well, no, that, and they also did an actual HD like remix of early Tony Hawk games that didn't do so hot. Do you remember that? They had like
No,
the warehouse level and everything.
No, see, I never got around to messing with those.
It was bad. It was bad. So that's probably why they took it down. But so I'm a little worried. But I hear a demo's out there. Have you heard any news about anybody that's played the demo? Or
I've heard the demo's amazing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I saw something that said it gives you 2 minutes of pure bliss.
Yeah.
Just like the original demo was 2 minutes. I love that because I got the first 2 minutes of Superman stuck in my head. Here I am doing everything I can.
Oh,
That and like the sound of the
other,
glass breaking.
That's the other thing, dude. One of the probably the second or third best collection of like video game soundtracks, in my opinion.
Did they
What's the
secure
fault?
all the songs, the original songs?
As far as I know, yes.
Wow, that's impressive. That's
What would be
impressive.
the first best?
Oh,
video game soundtrack?
Vice City. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
Vice
You love that
City,
80s
hands
music.
down.
Interesting. Cause you a '90s baby. What do you like about '80s music?
I love 80s music more than I love 90s music. Like,
Interesting.
and there's no contest in my opinion. I will listen to Vice City radio on Spotify all day.
All
like
right.
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
Mama say, Mama sa, Mamaku sa. You know.
yeah, right. Video killed the radio star, man.
Exactly.
So podcasts are trying to bring it back.
That's an interesting topic. I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent. This episode's going to be so huge.
Yeah.
But my favorite video game soundtrack of all time is probably Chrono Cross. I think that's pretty solid. The fact that like
Nerd.
shut up. The fact that like you ain't gonna answer with some weeboo shit.
Oh yeah, no.
But
Oh, no, he's a
Final
weeb.
Fantasy X, baby.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, Final Fantasy X is pretty solid. But the thing about Chrono Cross is you get remixes of all the songs because the whole conceit of that game is there's a multiverse and you bounce back and forth between two different versions of the same world. So each town you go in has the town song and then the alternate version world of that town song. It's cool. And a lot of it pulls from the really good music that came from Chrono Trigger, which is still timeless and really good. So Derek, let me ask you, what is your favorite soundtrack of all time for video games?
It's so hard for me to think of soundtracks in particular, but the one that sticks out in my mind is Final Fantasy X.
Okay.
I can listen to that intro song just over and over and over again. It's just so beautiful. They really,
My wife
I
can
don't know,
play
man.
My wife can
She
play
can
that
play it?
song on the viola.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She has to play it for me because I don't know. Most all Final Fantasy soundtracks are just masterpieces.
Masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
Nobuo Uematsu, man, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he's a fucking god when it comes to composing. That and Kingdom Hearts soundtrack is just.
Yeah.
I'm just like you said. I called you a nerd for Chrono Cross, but I'm a fucking nerd because it's the Final Fantasy and all that Japanese shit. Those are the soundtracks for me, man.
All right. Ryan, did you have any other news aside from, I know Epic versus Apple's on your radar, Tony Hawk Pro Skater? I'm kind of excited about it too, so I'm going to be watching that one for sure. Anything else?
Two quick things. Going back to GTA and the days of Vice City and stuff, even up to GTA 5, the radio host Laszlo has left Rockstar. From what I've gathered, he left back in April, but just recently actually updated his LinkedIn profile. Sources are citing that he's been taking care of his sister. Obviously, it's all speculation. We don't no confirmation on that. But with the COVID stuff, he's become her primary caregiver. So yeah, Laszlo, one of my again the soundtracks, man. He was my companion in the GTA days, and he's not gonna be working with Rockstar anymore.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
was his whole contribution just voiceover work, or did he do anything else with Rockstar aside from that?
No, he was actually, if you remember the GTA 5 story, he was the host of the show that
Well,
Michael's
no.
daughter was on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know that they actually put him
Flame
in
or
the
Shame.
game. Yeah, they actually put him in the game as kind of like a Ryan Seacrest stand-in. But I mean, like, did he do any development or producing? Was it just like, do you know if his job at Rockstar was outside of a personality?
Oh no, as to my understanding, he was just a personality and voice actor.
I
Okay.
saw that he did some writing.
Did he?
Well,
Yeah,
I was gonna
some
say
writing.
it's interesting they would say he leaves Rockstar because you don't consider like Troy Baker to be working for Naughty Dog. He just did a
Right.
voiceover for him. You know what I mean? And the fact is, God, Troy Baker works everywhere for everyone for everything. But
Hmm.
yeah, I was wondering the fact that the headline reads that he leaves Rockstar. That leads me to believe that he did do more than just voiceover work. Maybe he was. You said he was a writer. You think?
Also a
Yeah,
writer and producer. Yeah, you are
yeah.
correct, Derek.
Okay, interesting. Okay, you had other Rockstar news actually aside from Laszlo, didn't you?
Yes. So we all know Rockstar is not great at addressing their online community in terms of patching bugs and stuff and hacking and fixing all that stuff.
That is the word on the street.
Red Dead Online has gotten so broken, so very broken that Rockstar has actually taken notice and addressed it, but still no solution on the horizon.
Interesting.
So from what I've heard, you can get into a Red Dead Online server with 3 people, and then the game just stops. Complete and total disconnection. Like, it is, from firsthand source, it is unplayable right now.
Interesting.
So I kind of remember hearing about that. Didn't like all the online players dress up as clowns or something?
Yes, they did. They released a patch, and then they released another patch after the patch, and then the game just went to shite. Like, it's completely broken.
Interesting. So, you know what's funny about that is Rockstar rakes in disgusting amounts of cash from its
Scrooge
online.
McDuckian levels of De Niro.
Yeah, they can swim in that money. And the fact that they apparently are just allocating that towards, I'm guessing, CEOs and shareholders and not to fix their shit, that says a lot. So, it's unfortunate. Well, Derek, what you got going on this week?
Last of Us 2 added grounded difficulty, and that includes permadeath feature.
Interesting.
Yeah, so as Ryan mentioned earlier, you're a bit of a masochist, so you will definitely be checking that out when I lend it to you.
Hey, have we not learned on this episode that I like myself now?
No, not when it
You're-
comes to video
I will
games.
check it
Yeah,
out, though.
so
You're
your
right.
gaming
You're right.
habits beg
After all,
differ.
you were playing Dynasty Warriors 9.
You know what? Touche.
he's got you.
He's got me.
And so I want to point out how crazy the permadeath is. So this is just mild spoilers for the beginning of The Last of Us 2. Not even spoilers. There's a scene where you're playing snowball, having a snowball fight with some kids.
Hmm.
And if one of those kids' snowballs hits you, you die.
Shut
No.
up.
No,
That-
no.
that-
Why
that's
would you?
Yes, that's
That's
how,
included in
Why?
permadeath?
Yes, that's included in
Well,
permadeath.
I mean, you don't actually die. It's like it triggers a fail state, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that would
But-
count in permadeath, though?
Oh, I don't know, man.
That's
I
interesting.
would have to play through it, but
Wow, that's
I
such a good
watched
point.
I watched the little video, and literally the kid snowball hit her, and she just fell out.
I want a permadeath that deletes your save file.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's
I
what
don't know.
permadeath is, right? You can't continue. You're permanently dead.
Yeah, I think that is what that
Yeah, I
means.
mean,
I would never
permad-
do that to myself.
Like, from a Fire Emblem perspective, it just means you can't play as that character, but as long as you have other characters to play as, you can continue. But a single-player permadeath, that ends the game. That permanent death means you die, you start over, right?
Yeah.
Pretty
No
sure.
thanks. Yeah.
See, I play to relax, not to put my controller through the TV. So I'm good on that aspect.
If Insanity Mode on Ghost of Tsushima had a permadeath, I would not select it, because I definitely would have ended my run long ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Let's see.
I play permadeath on easy, though, because then I'd feel really stupid. What else you got, man?
Oh, let's see. PlayStation added the feature finally so if you don't know, if you have PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Now and you've purchased a game through those services, you weren't able to buy them if the PlayStation Store was having a sale on them.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can.
Ooh.
So yeah. So for example, let's say you have I have Injustice for free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, me too.
Let's say before this update, it went on sale for $2.
Mm,
I wouldn't be able to buy it for $2 because I already had it on PlayStation Plus, but now I can.
That's cool. That way, if you ever
Yeah.
get off PlayStation Plus, you get to keep the game.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Because
cool.
if those listening don't know, if you buy a game through PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Now, you don't own that game. As soon as your subscription
If you
lapses,
download the game.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
download it,
Yeah.
as soon as that subscription lapses, you won't be able to do it. Let's see, Final Fantasy VII is now on Xbox Game Pass.
The original one?
Yes, the original.
Yeah, because I guess the other one's exclusive.
Right. So Xbox players will be able to experience the majesty of that and be able to play it before they play Final Fantasy VII Remake, which you will need to do if you want to fully understand what's going on in that game.
Is Remake ever going to come to the Xbox?
Remake is on the Xbox, I thought.
No, it isn't. That
It's
remake's
not?
no, it's a PS4
No,
exclusive,
yeah,
brother.
PS.
Oh no, yeah, it's a PS4 timed exclusive.
Oh, it's
So that's
timed.
yeah. So that's probably why
that's
they're releasing the
cool.
original.
That's cool.
yeah.
I didn't know that. That's great news. Ryan,
Yeah.
you gotta check that game out.
Oh no,
It's amazing.
trust me, it's been on my radar.
Brother, it's like my favorite game of the year so far. Like, it is good. We gushed about it on our spoiler cast, so, which, if you probably skipped that episode, at least I hope you did. Because we spoiled the shit out of it.
Yeah, the last thing that I've got as far as the news is that there was a tweet, I forget who it was from, but they showed a Xbox Series X controller packaging, and on the side of it, it said compatible with Xbox Series X/S. So that leads many to believe that it is basically confirmed that Xbox will be releasing a slightly less powerful version of the Series X called the Series S this November. So that's another console that I don't have a reason to buy.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, it's less powerful, you say?
Yeah, interesting.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you, Derek, as we come to the close of this increasingly long podcast episode, which I love. I love a long podcast episode. This week, what you feeling?
So, I am feeling this movie. I haven't seen it yet, but it just dropped on Netflix, I believe, the 14th. And it's called Project Power. And it stars Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And here's the synopsis real quick for you. It's a former soldier teams up with a cop to find the source behind a dangerous pill that provides temporary superpowers.
No, dude. You got to do it in a movie voice.
A former soldier teams up with a cop to find the source behind a dangerous pill that provides temporary superpowers.
This summer,
Jamie Foxx, known for his roles in Ray
I play the piano when I'm blind.
and Collateral,
I'm just a taxi driver. Why are you making me help you kill people?
and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, known for his roles on Third Rock from the Sun.
I'm the dumb one.
Yeah. Jesus,
Right,
that's on
and
point.
Batman: The Dark Knight Rises.
I might be Robin?
Maybe. But yeah, if you know anything about Jamie Foxx, you know that he is easily one of the most talented
Oh,
people
yeah.
on the planet, period.
He was great in Collateral. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he can sing, he can dance, he can act.
Jason Gordon-Levitt's good, too.
Oh yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's good, but he's not touching Jamie Foxx.
I mean, he might touch him in this movie. We don't know what kind of
Probably.
movie this is. This could be a romance.
Heyo.
Yeah.
The power, the passion, the romance.
Project Power.
Definitely.
More like Project Power Bottom, baby.
No.
Oh Jesus. Derek,
Here
definitely
we go.
keep me updated on that. My concern with that movie is it's gonna be Limitless, but with superpowers.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Limitless.
I thought Limitless was okay. What's your beef with Limitless?
No, it was a decent movie. It seems like everything is a rehash.
You don't
with
want
a
to see the
slight
same
tweak.
movie again.
Yeah.
I
There's,
gotcha.
there's nothing new under the sun, honestly. Let's be real. So you
I
can
don't
only
know.
do.
I don't know, man.
Hey,
I don't know.
Warrior Nun.
Umbrella
Okay.
Academy is pretty unique. I mean, it's an
Yeah, but
adaptation.
it's superpowers. But
Yeah.
I did say there's nothing new under the sun. But Michael, I remember you telling me about a game that's coming out on Nintendo Switch here soon, and I want you to talk about it. Had something to do with giant enemy crabs.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's coming out in September. I'll double check. Because I was not prepared to talk about this. So yes, there is a game on the Nintendo Switch, and the release date is confirmed for September 15th. It's called Fight Crab. I believe it may already be out in Japan, and I know that physical editions are being sold on Play Asia, but I think when it comes here, it may only be digital. But Fight Crab, if you're wondering what the shell is this, publisher Mastiff and developer Kalapa Games are going to release a ridiculous fight game where you play as a relatively or nominally realistic crab holding swords, lightsabers, machine guns, Thor's hammer, and swinging them around realistically physics style and attacking other crabs.
Also riding vehicles as well.
You could be
Don't
a
forget
giant
that.
crab fighting another giant crab, destroying the city as you exchange blows. You could be fighting, other crabs on the table of a giant restaurant. You know what I mean? Like being a regular sized crab, I guess. It looks dumb. They're boasting there's going to be 23 different playable crabs, 48 weapons, and 11 different arenas. A lot of people aren't talking about Fight Crab right now. That might be the first rule. I'm not sure.
But we don't talk about it.
Yeah, you don't talk about Fight Crab. But the second rule is you should be talking about Fight Crab because it looks amazing. If you like stupid games, and I'm talking stupid games, this looks stupid, and I'm all about it. So, yeah, thank you for mentioning that. It's not exactly what I was feeling this week, but I'm glad you mentioned it.
I had to get that.
If you don't want to wait for Switch, it is currently out on Steam.
Oh, it is on Steam.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah, it came out July 29th.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so it's out there in the world right now. Somebody else has probably found it before me, but it's been on my radar because of Nintendo's. They've been tweeting about it a bunch, so I'm like, oh, this looks cool.
And it opens with the trailer opens with the generic, stereotypical Japanese voiceover.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember that. Fight Crab.
Fight the crab.
It's so good. You got look up the trailer if you can, definitely. All right, Ryan, what are you feeling this week, sir?
Well, Mike, we're kicking it old school this week. I picked up three of my favorite PS2 games of all time this past
Nice.
Monday. Dark Alliance 1, Dark
Nice.
Alliance 2,
Ooh.
and Champions of Norath. I broke out the super slim PS2, and I will be going hard on Dark Alliance, reliving the glory days of me and you in my living room, hanging out, little dungeon crawling.
Good times, man. I remember
So-
the local couch co-op dungeon crawling, and I know you're gonna go so hard, girl.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. No, how much did you get the games for? Because some of them go for pretty expensive, especially Dark Alliance 2. I remember last time I saw it was like $50.
Yeah, I picked up Dark Alliance 1 and Norath for $20 a pop, and then Dark Alliance 2 I got for $35.
Okay,
That's not bad.
that's not bad at
So-
all, actually. No.
And then I am on the lookout for the sequel to Champions of Norath, Return to Arms, but that one is eluding me so far.
Yeah, hint, Derek. Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Awesome. Well, you may be wondering, you may be asking yourself, what is Mike feeling this week? Well, let me tell you. I checked out Too Tweezy. If you couldn't already tell from earlier when we had our little deluxe.
Let me get on.
It reminded me of another group that I used to follow. Remember that channel Dormtainment?
Yes.
Oh,
Shake,
God.
Shake that
Wow.
ass on the internet.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Two of them dudes from Dormtainment formed a group called Tropical Storm. Now, I didn't know this, but they're still releasing music. They just released a 5th album in May. So they're going, and they're on Spotify. But one of my favorite albums by them was Life After Fame. So you can look up a lot of their albums like on YouTube, on Spotify, or wherever. But we're talking such classics as Dick Touch the Water, Booty Hole, Shake Dem Buttocks, and Shake Dem Caps, ho. We don't care about your breast. Shake them caps. Kneecaps. So if you like hip hop and you like your hip hop on the funny side, check these dudes out for sure. They are hilarious, but you're also going to be bopping while you're laughing. So that's what I'm feeling this week. Okay.
If you think I didn't immediately turn on Shake That Ass on the internet, you are incorrect.
Love it. Love it. Shake that ass on the internet. That's it. I you know what's funny? I discovered them through Issa Rae. Issa Rae is really popular now, but back in the day when she was an internet personality and she was doing that awkward black girl show, she had another show she did called Ratchet Piece Theater. And Ratchet Piece Theater was a way for her to highlight the kind of ratchet songs that she likes to listen to. So, Trina made it on there, some classic tunes like that. But she did an episode featuring Shake That Ass on the Internet by Dormtainment. And from that point, I was hooked. I was listening to the YouTube. They're still going. I haven't followed them as much recently. I definitely am more familiar with their older stuff. But funny guys. So definitely check them out if you like to laugh. All right, well, I think that is us. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Ryan, why don't you tell the people where they can find you out there and, plug anything you'd like people to check out.
Like I said before, man, I'm not huge into the social medias, but I do stream regularly with another buddy of mine. We're usually on the weekends. YouTube, just look up Skill Gap Games. You'll find us way deep down in there because we ain't got a big presence, but
Okay.
It's like page 4, maybe.
Skill gap, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
skill space gap.
Yeah, Skill Space Gap.
Got it. And Derek, what you got going on? Why don't you plug your
Yeah.
stuff?
You can follow me on Instagram at GamerGoodiesMore, over on Twitter at goodies_more. You can check out the website at gamergoodiesandmore.com. I will say that we're having a bit of trouble getting stuff uploaded to the website, so until further notice, I'm going to be directing you to the eBay store at ebay.com/str/gamergoodiesandmore for all that sweet, sweet deals and good video game stuff and toys and anything under the umbrella of media.
Sounds good. Well, if you're liking what you're hearing and you want to follow me on Twitter, you can check me out at Mike Peterson AL. Got a YouTube channel, MC Paper Stacks Plays, putting all my Twitch highlights and streams up there for archival purposes. And you can catch me streaming at twitch.tv/MCPaperstacks. Got a full schedule. I might be doing a shake up to the schedule soon, and I am going, like I said, on a social media blackout starting tomorrow up through probably like mid next week. So, but again, you can catch me on the regular schedule after that. If you want to check out future episodes of the podcast, please remember we do upload every single Sunday, and our hub is at anchor.fm/player2 has entered the pod. You can donate to the cause there. You can reach out to us at mcpaperstacks@gmail.com if you have questions or stream suggestions, want to collab, whatever it is. And if you're on Facebook, I do run a local Facebook gamers group that you're free to join at facebook.com/groups/indie gamers. That is our show, people. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking us out. Ryan, I'd like to give you a special thanks for stopping by and being a guest on today's episode. We will see everybody next week. Bye-bye.
All right, see ya.
Peace.